Hey guys, it's Carly. Okay, so Christmas is coming up and I wanted to film a look that was appropriate for the holidays or Christmas time but wasn't the classic Christmas look. So if you want to see how I did that, then just keep watching. Okay, so first things first is I am going to go ahead and prep my face for makeup. So I've already cleansed my face and done like my serums and moisturizers, but now I am just going to go in with, this is a hydrating, oil-free hydrating gel from Mary Kay, and it comes in this like purple little tub. So that's what I'm gonna use. I use it as a primer. So I have very, very dry skin. So I don't love like a silicone based primer. So I just use this moisturizer just to give my skin some extra moisture. It's very silky, it's very thin, but it does a good job of prepping before I put my makeup on. So I'm just gonna rub a little bit of that in, and I am doing this first so that I can let my skin settle. As you can tell, when I rub my face, my skin gets a little red just because I am so dry. So I'm gonna let this like soak in, and then I'm gonna go do my eyes first. So I have like a holiday party that I'm going to tonight, and I was trying to like come up with an idea. I feel like most looks are very just like basic, and it's like a red lip and gold eyes, and that's what everyone does for holidays. So I was gonna do something just a little bit different for my look tonight. And I am by no means like a great makeup artist or anything like that. Like I am not one of those girls that can just whip up crazy, amazing, artistic makeup. It's just not in my blood, but I love doing makeup. So I'm gonna do something very simple and easy. I'm gonna do like a neutral eye with a pop of green and then like kind of a baby pink lipstick. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start on my eyes. So first things first, and also I have my mirror over here to the side, so I hope that that's not like distracting if I'm gonna be like looking in a mirror, but I don't want to be like looking in the viewfinder like this the whole time. So I don't know, I'm just gonna go back and forth that way. But I'm gonna start with my eyes. So I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take cream eyeshadow in the color Pale Blush. So what I'm doing is I'm using this to prime my eyes. I like these cream eyeshadows to do so because it gives a little bit of tint to your lid. So they have a little bit of a color to them, but then they also have eyeshadow primer built in. They're just really nice and creamy and convenient. So I'm just taking that color from my lash line all the way up to my brow bone. I'm not doing anything too crazy or like too many colors on my eyes, but I find that this also just helps get rid of like redness and any of like the veins that are in my eyes. So I just do a light layer of that. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the color Hazelnut, which is like a neutral, like nude brown, and I'm gonna take that on a Jaclyn Hill. It's the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Favorites brush. It's the JH30, and I am taking this. So it's like a pretty fluffy blending brush. I don't want this to be too defined. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna take this through the crease of my eye and really focus it on the outer half. So it's okay if this is messy because that's why I'm doing my eyes first, so that I can like go in and clean this up. So it doesn't even matter. I'm just taking this and I'm buffing it kind of everywhere, but really focusing it on this outer edge. And I'm gonna do the same to this eye. So I'm really just using this brown color as just to give my eye some definition, because I'm gonna be doing a pretty like nude, just kind of sparkly, neutral, very simple eye, but I don't wanna lose the shape of my eye, and I have a hooded eyelid, so I have to put something like really high up near my brow bone to kind of lift my eye up. So I'm just dusting that throughout. Okay, I know that looks messy and like nothing, but we're getting somewhere. So next thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna take a little bit of like it's like a pigment, And I'm gonna put this on my finger. This is from NYX, just like a loose pigment. I could not tell you the color. It's like a champagne color. I'm gonna take that loose pigment and I'm gonna rub it all over my eye. I'm a fingers girl, so I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna pack this all over the lid of my eye. And this is just gonna be kind of like our base color. Just to give us a little bit of shimmer. Do that to the other eye. Okay, so now that we've got a little bit of shimmer on the eyes, next thing I'm gonna do is I am taking the color Crystalline. So this color is like a very sparkly white color. Okay, so I'm gonna take that very white eyeshadow on a JH41, also from the Jaclyn Hills collection, and I am gonna wet my brush. This is a little bit of a reviving facial spray, so I'm just gonna spray this just to get my brush damp. It makes the pigment so much sparklier. So I'm gonna take that, and this is just like a packer brush. And I am just gonna pack that mostly on the inner corner of the eye, and I'll heavy focus on this little tear duct section. And I'm just gonna blend that in to that champagne-y gold color that we did. I'm gonna take that fluffy blending brush that we used in the beginning and just blend everything out a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that champagne gold and just kind of tap it where we stopped that white color. And then go back in with the brush that we used and just really blend those two together. I don't want the look to be too gold, but I also don't want it to be too white either. So I like the mixture of those colors. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for the top part of my eyes for right now. So what I'm gonna do is move on. I'm gonna zoom out and do like my base and do my foundation, and then I'll go back and do the underneath part of my eyes. Okay, so as for foundation, like I said, I have pretty dry skin, so I like to go for something that is a little more luminous, a little glowy, a little dewy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this Reviving Facial Spray. It's what I use to spray on my brushes, and I'm gonna spray that all over my face. This has coconut extract in it, so it smells amazing. It smells like the beach. And then I am going to take the Morphe M439. It's just like a big buffing foundation brush. It has like a rounded dome top. And I'm gonna take my Mary Kay foundation. I am in the color Ivory 4. And this is Luminous Ivory 4. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this. I don't love full coverage. Rare. I really like my skin to look like my skin when I put my foundation on, so I don't do a ton. This is very buildable and you can make it full coverage. So I take just a little bit on my brush, and then I also do a pump of CC cream. This is in light to medium. And I find that this just warms my face up, and the CC has like skincare properties in it as well as the Time Wise. So it's just good for your face. And I'm just gonna dot this. I just like to disperse it all over. I was using a beauty blender for a while to do my foundation, but I just switched back to the good old brush because I feel like it takes so much less time. So I'm just gonna buff this in. And this brush is amazing. It's so big that it takes no time. Okay, so I've got my foundation all worked in. So now I'm gonna do a little bit of concealing and color correcting. I'm using the Under Eye Corrector, which just comes in one shade. And I like to put this just in my like bluish purple areas in my under eye. So I take a little bit of that. And then I'm also taking regular Perfecting Concealer in Light Ivory. And I'm gonna go just a little bit further down with that. A little bit on my chin, a little on my nose, and my forehead. And this is just going to help conceal, but it also is gonna bring light to your face as well. I cannot find my beauty blender anywhere to save my life, so I am just using, this is a Real Techniques. I think it's just like the Expert Face Brush. And I'm just gonna buff that in. Okay, I don't set my whole face with powder because like I said, I am pretty dry, but I do like to set just right underneath my eye, just so I don't get any cakiness under there. So I just take a little bit of, I'm just using Mary Kay's translucent powder. And just tapping a little bit of that on there. Okay, moving on to the face. I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring. Gotta chisel those cheekbones. So I am taking our contour color. It's the lighter contour color. It's called Latte. I love this color because it's so neutral. It's not too warm. It's not too gray. It's a very neutral based color. It's great for contour and it's super pigmented. So I'm just taking a little bit and I'm taking this on a Morphe M523. I love Morphe brushes. Have I mentioned that? And I am going to start to contour my face. So I don't like to do a super harsh contour, just a little bit to chisel out my cheekbones because I have a very pumpkin-y round face. So chiseling out those cheekbones is importante. So I'm gonna take this, and the way I like to do it is I usually keep it close to my hairline back here. So I start at the top of my ear and I just work it just a little bit down. I don't come super close to my mouth. I just kind of keep it on the outsides of my face and I do little circular motions and blend it upwards. And I take a little bit up around my temple, like around my hairline. And then a little bit underneath my chin. And then I just use this brush to just dust a little. I'm not really contouring my nose. When I contour my nose, I like to use a tiny brush, but this just, so the nose isn't, you know, all left out all by himself. And then I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, so now we at least have some form of cheekbones sticking out there. Just a little bit of warmth to the face. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my blush. I'm using this color called Rosy Nude. So pretty, not too pink, not too brown. Just a great everyday blush color. So you see it's very neutral, not too pink, not too brown, just a great everyday blush color. And I am gonna use my favorite blush brush. You guessed it, it's Morphe, that's right. It's the E4 and I love this brush. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that. I'm just gonna dust it right over the contour on the apples of my cheeks. I don't like to take my blush too far back because then you look like you're in the 80s, and I don't like to bring it too far in because then you look sick. So I just keep it right on the apples of my cheeks. And I'm a blush girl. I love blush so much. So if you're looking at me and you're like, wow, she's gonna be putting on a lot of blush, you're right. I totally am. I just feel like you're dead if you're not wearing blush. And then I just have this habit that I always put some on my nose and I always take some on my forehead. I don't even know if it does anything. It's just, it's a habit. And then I'm gonna wait to highlight I'll highlight later. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the eyes, zoom you back in a little. I'm taking this really pretty color. It's called Emerald Noir. It's gorge for the holidays. Do you die? So I'm gonna take this on a pencil brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH39. So I'm taking this on a little pencil brush. And I am going to put this underneath of my lash line. So I am going to do this I'm gonna do it really close and then buff it out later. I'm gonna put it really close up underneath my lash line. Okay, and then once I have it placed up under there, I'm gonna take a smaller kind of tapered brush and I'm gonna dip into just a little bit of the green, and that's what I'm gonna use to kind of buff out the edges. I like a really buffed out under eye. I just think it looks so pretty and dramatic. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue blending these out. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now that I have it all buffed out, I'm gonna take like a little flat brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH43. I'm gonna dip it into the same green color and I'm gonna get really close to my lash line and darken that up. Okay, next thing, eyebrows. These puppies, don't judge me, I'm growing them out, so they look kind of crazy right now. I think eyebrows are like the most boring thing in the world to watch though, so I'm gonna do those off camera and then I'll be back. Brows, done. They look okay. They look okay. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to take a little bit of black liner. I am not gonna do like a wing. I don't love liquid liner and I don't love wings on my eyes. So what I'm gonna do though is take a little bit of just a black pencil liner and smush it in between my lashes, kind of tight lining, just to really define my eye and make it look a lot more prominent. And this also will make your lashes look thicker too. And I'm also going to take it in my waterline. So then that way you can see the difference. This one's just more, yeah, you get it. That way we just bring a little bit more definition back to our eyes. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more of that white crystalline color and just pop it more in my inner corner. I feel like it got lost and we're just gonna brighten that up. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of mascara. I'm using Lash Intensity. And then for my bottom lashes, I like to use Lash Love Lengthening because it has a little curved wand to it. So I like to use the curved wand because then I feel like I don't get mascara on my lower lash because it just sits so nicely. Okay, mascara is done. Lash Intensity is amazing. All the long lashes. Okay, so now it's time to highlight. So for highlight, I'm gonna use a little mixture, a little concoction, if you will, of this color called Glazed, and then also the crystalline white eyeshadow that I used. So my favorite way to highlight is with a brush. So I'm using the Morphe, I believe it's the E31, the numbers came off. Who knows? But it's just a little tapered blending highlighting brush. So what I like to do is I like to swirl that in both of the colors. And then I like to take a little bit of either like setting spray or facial mist, any spray. I spray it and then I apply the highlight. So I'm gonna highlight the top of my cheekbones. I'm also gonna go down the bridge of my nose and on the tip. Cupid's bow. And then I like to take a little bit right above my eyebrows and just connect it down, almost like a little C shape. My neighbor's alarm goes off at least 15 times a day. Okay, so the alarm went away. Highlight is done. Isn't that such a pretty, like, natural, just glow from within highlight? That's what I really like in a highlight. Okay, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a lip color. So normally, like, you could still do a red lip with this. You totally could, but I just feel like that's so just like expected. So I'm gonna do a pink lip just because I want to be fun. Okay, so for lips, I am gonna take this color. It's called Love Me Pink. It's like a nice baby pink color. And this is a semi-shine lipstick. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish off with a little bit of finishing spray just to set everything. Just take a little bath. Okay, and that is the finished look. So this is my holiday party, not so Christmassy, kind of Christmassy makeup look. I'm gonna have to fit that all into a title. So I hope you guys liked following this video and I hope you like this look. Yeah, so go ahead and like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you wanna be my friend, see more videos from me, you can just subscribe. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys have a good Christmas and holiday season.